Ubisoft is going to start taking legal action against those who execute DDoS attacks in Rainbow Six Siege. This is from Owen S. Good over at Polygon. It says, Rainbow Six Siege has a big enough problem with denial of service attacks disrupting matches that Ubisoft Montreal told its community of a multi-pronged plan to deal with it all, including sicking their lawyers on the sites that host distributed denial of service attacks, so DDoS attacks. In an update devoted entirely to the DDoS issue, developers said they were also lowering the number of matches per server and disabling the quitting penalties for players in matches that get attacked, known as the escalating abandon sanction. The changes will go into effect this week. Such a move acknowledges how DDoS attacks have become a common problem for Siege. Cheating players use the attacks to create lag, slow the matches down, and frustrate legitimate players into quitting. Ordinarily, quitting a match earns a penalty and gives the remaining player ranked points without having to do anything. The cheating tactic has accelerated in use, though, particularly since last week's title update starting the Operation Ember Rise season. Players have also taken to paying for DDoS for higher sites to go in and slow matches down to a crawl. Ubisoft said it will send cease and desist letters to those host sites in an ongoing effort to curb these problems. It didn't describe what other legal recourse it could seek, but it's a start. The company is also working with Microsoft's Azure cloud hosting service team, quote, to develop both short and long-term solutions, end quote, which over time will deliver a substantial impact on hackers' efforts. So, so the near-term change, they're going to be dedicating just a single server to a single match. So currently the way that it works is there are 3 matches that are hosted on each server. So if a DDoS attack takes place for one of those, 2 others are impacted by it. So it's going to reduce that by 2/3 at least to start. The long-term, like, talking about, they haven't talked about what the next legal recourse is. Like, your cease and desist is your first domino to fall. Like, that is Ubisoft saying, hey, we are putting you on notice that you are doing something that is illegal. If you do not cease and desist your illegal activity, we are going to pursue further legal recourse against you, likely in financial damages. If I open a chili restaurant, all right? I open a chili restaurant, and I have attracted a lot of individuals who just really, really love chili. Really love chili. And they're coming around, they're coming to my restaurant, they're sitting, they're ordering the chili, they're having a great time, they bring their friends, they're eating my chili with their friends. That's a great business, good business model. But if somebody comes in to my chili restaurant and says, oh my gosh, I don't enjoy this chili nearly as much as you do, or hell, I don't want other people to enjoy this chili because I'm not enjoying it, I'm going to go into the back and shit in that chili. They ruined my business. After so many incidents of my chili being shat in by an individual, I will find it much harder to sustain a paying and engaged audience at my restaurant. And so it stands to reason that when Ubisoft has a game that is meant to be enjoyed in a certain fashion, shit-free, and users come in and proverbially shit in the proverbial chili by perpetuating these kinds of attacks, that is going to ultimately impact Ubisoft's business in the way that they're able to operate and succeed. If they become known as a platform, not as a platform, if they become known as a game that is routinely impacted by these DDoS attacks to the point where people who want to legitimately enjoy the game will avoid playing the game because these things are so rampant, then the people who perpetuate these attacks have impacted Ubisoft's bottom line and have denied them the ability to run their business as normal. And so it makes perfect sense that they would say, we're going to deliver cease and desist orders, and then we're going to continue to take action against these sites. And my thing is, like, go after them for all it's worth, man. I'm not always on the side of publishers, but when it comes to shit like this, like, just stop shitting in the chili. What's the point? I don't understand the point of cheating in an online game. I just don't get it. Is it so that you can like brag on the internet that you're a certain rank in ranked games? Is it just because troll culture has become that rampant and celebrated in our world today that like it's funny for you to ruin the experience of other people who have paid money to play these games? Like, I don't know. Fuck those guys. I'm on Ubisoft's side. Like, go after them with everything you've got. Throw the book at these dudes because they're ruining a good thing for ordinary, regular people who just had a day at work where they had to have eight phone meetings with people and they just want to play a fucking game at the end of the day. And you get there and that bowl of chili gets put in front of you and you realize that somebody is taking a hot, steamy dump in it. It's like, well, shit. Now, I already spent the day not enjoying what I had to do all day, and now I'm going to sit here all night not enjoying what I wanted to do tonight.